some days I feel like all I do is drain people, and people are so drained that they just don't want to be around me anymore. And that's a painful thing to realize, I guess. It's painful to realize that your want to be around certain people drains them to the point where they can't be around you at certain points. And though I do get that, and it is a logical, fair thing to, once you're around somebody long enough, you just need a little break. That makes sense. I totally get it. I have been in the same situation and felt that way too. But sometimes it stings when you realize that the person that people are trying to get a break from is you. No matter how much you rationalize it or make sense of it, I guess. And especially when sometimes they're the only person you have to be around. And you know that you do irritate them sometimes, and they irritate you too. And there's some days where you would rather not be hanging out with them because you're irritated by them or what have you. And you still do hang out with them, and you end up having a good time anyways. And then there's days where they don't do that at all for you. And I'm not saying they have to or that they should. I guess it's just one of those things where maybe it's like a double standard or something, where you just, you wait around all day and you are waiting for them to want to go do something, and then they leave and they don't bring you with them, even though you've waited all day to go do something with them in the house, and now you're out by yourself driving because you don't have any other things to do, because you don't know anybody else here and you haven't made any friends. So what are you supposed to do for enjoyment? I don't know. Maybe I overthink things. Maybe none of this matters. Maybe it's all a bunch of bullshit. And I don't know. It's all just kind of annoying, I guess. And though it does suck at times because you don't make very much money, and so you have to rely on them for food because all you can pay is rent and utilities and those kinds of things. So you know that they get annoyed that you need them to help you with getting food and stuff, and maybe you rely on it to a point and you don't ask because you're so used to just receiving food from them, and that's not something that you intend to be like, but sometimes it is just like that and you don't think about it, and of course you feel bad about it, but it's just one of those things where we've known each other for so long and we're like family anyways, that sometimes I guess you just expect certain things and not really thinking of the toll it takes on other people. And you don't mean for it to be that way, of course. It just kind of is. And you don't want it to be that way. But it is. And of course, you have your mood swings and such that make your relationships with anybody difficult. And so that can make things difficult as well. But you hope that certain people that you like and that you trust will understand that it's just a part of who you are, I guess. And in return, you have to know, like, aren't really, like, around, or, like, don't really text me or want to go do anything, mainly because they either have kids or they're in a relationship, and it just seems to mass control all of everything. And even the people that you live next to, who you were hoping might hit off with, they are flakes, and they make arrangements with you, and then they just don't show up. So what are you supposed to do? You know, you want to go out and you want to make friends with people, but what are you supposed to do when you can't go out and make friends with people because everyone's a flake, or they're just have their own lives and they don't have time for other people, and you don't want to bother them, so you sit there and waiting for a text or anything, but it doesn't happen. So you just try to maneuver around everything and live your own life and try to be happy with everything, and you know, you've got a friend that you live with, so you usually don't worry about anything. And it's not all on this friend. It's not all on them at all. It's just the emotional part of me is emotionally needy, and I'm one of those people that does like to be around people, and I'm a social person, and there's nothing wrong with that. And unfortunately, they're not a social person, so they get irritated when you're around too much, or when you just exist around them too long, which I can relate to that as well. That's why it was better when you lived back home, because you had different friends to go to back and forth with, and it wasn't always the same person, because of course you're gonna get tired of the same goddamn person all the time. It's not a good idea to be stranded with one person in one area and just try to make a friendship work when you don't have any time for anybody else and you're just stuck together. Of course, that's not a great idea. But, you know, people make choices because they think other choices are going to happen. Other events are going to occur, which seem to have fallen to pieces, which don't seem to be in play anymore in the first place. So you're not even sure why you're still in the area at some points, because all the plans have changed and been rearranged and don't have the same meaning anymore. And you're not even sure you want to go to where they want to go and leave you, so you're left up in the air with unsure thoughts and feelings.